One of the biggest challenges to working with someone as a running coach is to understand what your goals are and how you imagine yourself going about achieving those goals. From my perspective and from my own personal experience, going the route of improving running economy and efficiency is, I believe, the most beneficial thing to do, and it's also the most mentally tolerable and easiest thing to sustain. So you've got these two camps. You've got the people that want to be pushed really hard, and they want a coach to hold them accountable and hold their feet to the fire, make them do the hard work. And what they will develop is VO2Max. They will develop an increased aerobic capacity. They can use more oxygen. And they believe that this will give them the edge to run faster. And then you've got the camp that I'm in, which is about improving running economy, or how efficiently you use the oxygen that you have. So it's not about processing more oxygen. It's about using that oxygen more efficiently. And we're finding out now that there's a trade-off between these two things, that those people with the highest VO2 max often have really bad running economy. And people that have really, really good running economy have decent VO2 max, but nothing stellar. So if you look at the two types of training involved in improving these two things, increasing VO2 max is going to require that you do a lot of hard intervals and you really push your limits on a regular basis. Whereas training to improve running economy or efficient use of oxygen, you just do a lot of easy running. One of the things that's showing up in the latest research is that to really improve running economy, you have to go between a heart rate of 55 and 60% of your max, which seems ridiculously slow. And this is where I train most of the time, and people are amazed that I train so slowly, and yet I'm able to run so fast in races, especially the mile, which I did quite well in this fall. So one of the things that I need to do at the beginning of a coaching conversation is to find out, what are you looking for? Do you want to run hard, and do you want me to push you hard, or do you want to do lots of really easy training to improve your efficiency? Which one is going to make you feel like you're really improving and benefiting? Because it's harder to feel like you're actually doing something of value when you take the easy approach. People just don't trust that training at 55 to 60% of your max heart rate is going to give you any benefit at all. We've all been told that you need to be training at least 70%, and most likely between 75 and 80%. Like, that's the zone where you need to be training most of the time. But the newest research that's coming out is showing that it's actually slower than that. And if you really want to develop your aerobic efficiency, you've got to train at the place where you're burning primarily fat. That's where you become efficient. If you train at the 70 to 80% of your max heart rate, you're still going to be burning a majority of fat, but you've shifted, you've tipped into burning a lot more sugar as well. So you're still burning a majority fat, but you're burning enough sugar now that you're telling the efficiency system that it's not good enough. You're pushing it beyond what it's comfortable with. So we have to recruit the sugar system as well. Whereas at 55 to 60% of your max heart rate, the body's like, okay, I can do this with fat. So what you do is you train right there, and your body gets better and better and better at utilizing fat as fuel. And then when you get into a race, you can use fat at a higher and higher heart rate because it's so efficient at those lower heart rates. So there's really two schools of thought when it comes to training, and one school is much smaller than the other, and I find myself in that smaller school, which is train efficiency, because my goal is to enjoy the process. My goal is to be consistent. My goal is to never have a day with a workout on the calendar that scares the crap out of me, because moving at all is a challenge for me. And if I have to be moving into a workout that has been designated as hard, not going to happen. Not going to do it. So I've found that, considering that I deal with depression and when I work with clients who are struggling, my goal is to get them and myself to go for efficiency, because the benefits of efficiency are enormous. But they're different than the benefits you get from VO2Max. And someone can train their VO2Max system and someone can train their efficiency system, and they go head to head and they get the same result. So it's really a matter of how you want to go about achieving your goals and how you want to feel in the midst of that process. That's really, really important to think about, because I've worked with people and they're like, this just feels too easy. I don't feel like I'm benefiting. And it's like, patience. And like, nope, too easy. I need to go find someone that's going to really push me, because that's where the gains are. And it's like, there are gains there, but they're different than the gains we're working with. The question is, can you sustain those hard workouts? And will you want to avoid them? That's really the key for me as a coach and as an athlete. I want to make sure that there's never a workout that I want to avoid. There are days when it's hard for me to move, but not because I've put a workout on the calendar that I'm scared of. It's just that I have to move through molasses in order to get out the door. But once I'm out there, I enjoy it because I'm training comfortably.